Ben Johnson. Okay, so he wrapped up all of his virtual interviews over the weekend. He was busy. Um, the Raiders are the team that are pushing for him, and it's all because of Tom Brady. And we've talked about it on the show. We know that Tom Brady is a minority owner and has tremendous amount of influence. Mark Davis is smart to go, oh wait, I have someone here who knows a lot about winning. Let me tap into that,
Yeah.
and that's really what they've allowed. And I think Brady's done a good job with Ben Johnson's camp in trying to paint this picture of, look, I'm not gonna let the ball drop here. It's not the perfect situation, right? This isn't set up in terms of the quarterback like you're seeing in Chicago, like you're seeing in New England, but I can help provide those things that you're looking for in a winning organization.
I like Ben Johnson to the Raiders, right? It makes sense, all the sense in the world. He's probably going to get some say in the 53-man roster and saying who he wants, who he doesn't want. He's obviously going to, do a good job coaching the offense. They don't have a quarterback, okay? And their defense is so-so. So just know it's going to be a rebuild. You got to find your quarterback, whether it's through free agency or the draft. Not sure if they're drafting high enough. And quite honestly, not sure if there's enough guys out there in this draft that are good enough. My question is, how does this impact the Dallas Cowboys opening? How does it impact his candidacy with the Raiders? Because I know we're all in on Tom Brady, Raiders, Ben Johnson. But if you're Ben Johnson and you're looking at the Cowboys job with the star and the brand and Jerry Jones, Dak freaking Prescott, who, say what you want about him, finished second in MVP voting last year, don't you think that sort of sways his decision?
I don't, because what's the one thing that we know about Ben Johnson based on how he's been taking these interviews? He wants a big say on who's around him and who's going to be making those decisions. And Jerry Jones has said he's the
He ain't
general
giving it up.
manager, right? He's not giving that up. So, I
Wow.
mean, if Ben Johnson thinks that Jerry Jones is a great general manager and can work under that, but just think about this, Chase, a first time head coach, the first time he's going to do this, to do it in Dallas, yes, a dream, but I think that's hard. I think that's a tough job. Just like I think New York would have been a tough job as well. Not that
Yep,
New
I
York is
agree.
interested in him and he's not interested in New York. So to me, it's going to come down to Chicago. It's going to come down to Jacksonville, who appears to be open to giving Ben Johnson whatever
Jacksonville.
it is that he needs. And then Tom Brady just in the ear. And the Chicago one is the one I'm really watching closely. This is a big hire. You know,
Huge.
we're watching Jaden have so much success with Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn, and this thing is rolling. It looks easy to them.
Yeah, it does.
Nothing has looked easy for Caleb in Chicago. And they need to find a way to bring someone in to apply that.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about it on the show a lot, and I've written about it. There's not this loss of confidence in Caleb Williams' ability throughout the
No.
league. No one's going, like, I know there's a debate right now of, oh, did Chicago make a mistake? Should they have gone Jaden? Yeah,
That's
of
dumb.
course. Of course. But at the same time, two things can be true here, right? Caleb Williams is still a really good quarterback, and so is Jaden. Jaden is just off to a much better start because he has the right coaching and the right organization. It's so weird to say that about the Commanders, but that's true, right? Like they have turned the page on the old way of
So
doing
true.
it, and Chicago needs to catch up. And Chicago's doing what the New York Jets are doing, which I'm sure you're seeing, which is they are interviewing a lot of people.
It's wild.
I had a conversation with somebody in the league the other night about this idea of why are these teams interviewing so many people? Like, I don't understand it. Why not have, you painted a perfect picture last show, 3 or 4 of your best, and you pick from those. And this person who's part of one of the searches says, we haven't found what we're looking for. We're waiting for someone to tell us
Interesting.
what it is, to answer our questions of what we're looking for, and no one has been able to do it. And I just thought that was so interesting
It is.
how some of these coaches are preparing for these interviews. And I think a lot of them need practice and help and mentoring in some of these interviews, because I don't think a lot of
Not
these
good
guys are
interviews.
hitting home runs, which is what look, obviously they're not, because look how many slips are being put in
Yeah.
for new coaches, right? And
So
it's just going to
true.
pick up after Minnesota plays. Brian Flores is going to get requests from the New
Yeah.
York Jets, from the Chicago
Yeah.
Bears, from the Raiders. I would think Brady wants to bring him in. So there is still so much to happen between now and really the end of this month in terms of this coaching cycle as we start to see teams, I like to think, home in on this and start breaking it down and getting ready for the second round of interviews, because everyone just probably wrapping up now. But by this Wednesday, most of those virtual interviews will be wrapped up with most of these coaches, and then we'll get to the second round. And then the in-person and this will go. But the New England Patriots, they are off and running. They don't have to worry about that.
They got their guy.
They've got their guy in place. So next show, let's dive into what we're going to see this weekend, what we can expect. I asked people on Twitter today if there was a team that just got bounced in the playoffs that you have hope in for next year. Like maybe a team that you thought deserves to still be in.
And I quote tweeted your
Oh, you did?
tweet.
I saw.
No, I did.
You said the team that doesn't deserve to be in there were the Steelers, and the team that does deserve to be, and I think we'll see them next year, are the Denver Broncos. I don't think they deserve to be there now, but I think the Broncos are going to be a team that are going to be a problem next year. So thanks to those people who've reached out with some of their answers. Broncos was the most common answer I saw, and I saw Bengals. Obviously, the Bengals didn't make it to the playoffs this year, but nobody is counting. But you count Joe Burrow out? I'm not counting Joe Burrow out.
Never.
Once they figure out who their new DC is going to be, and hopefully make some big moves this offseason, we will be talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, no doubt, next year. All right, that'll do it for us here on Scoop City, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Bye, guys. Talk to you next time.
Thanks for tuning into Scoop City. If you want to hear more, make sure you like and subscribe. We drop our new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.